Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the final enemy, part 4. Today is November 7th, 2019, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to start every single one of our sessions out with because you deserve to hear it. And we like to let all of you know that every time we go live, which is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. If this is your first time joining us and you would like to hear that delightful message again, feel free to go and check out our VOD at youtube.com/indooradventures or podcasts wherever podcasts are available if that's more up to your speed. We also have our Patreon set up, so if you are interested in possibly supporting us on Patreon and gaining access to an after show that we like to call Nights in the Courtyard, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures and you will hopefully find yourself in our Discord server that we link below in every single one of our VODs, as well as post in the chat to the side, which is that's Twitch stuff, so it's fun. But with that, that's it for my spiel. So Dingo, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Dingo, she, her, and I am playing Hish, Sunguard, half-orc fighter, he, him.
Hey, howdy. I am Keanu and or Reeves_bot, he, him, and I am playing just Ham at the moment, who doesn't really understand gender well enough to use it, so they, them.
Hi! I'm Cyber, and I'm playing Albus the Clashter Bard. Both of us use he, him.
Hi, friends. I'm KyleWithAnN. I'm playing Jilfa'en, who also goes by Jill. She is a half-elf cleric of no one in particular. We both use she, her.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your dungeon master. So, last we left off, you guys were conscripted by the town via Acquisitions Incorporated to go and help with the final enemy, as it were. The Sahuagin that had been plaguing the town of Saltmarsh, that had originally caused you such a great disturbance earlier back during the Sinister Secret when you found out about the Sahuagin problem. At this point, you have teamed up with all of the Aquatic Alliance, being the Lokatha, the Coalinth, the not the Sea Elves, but the Lizardmen, as well as the Marrow and Merfolk. You have all kind of banded together to put a stop once and for all to this group. The lot of you, you great four, as it were asked to perform an espionage mission, to just go in, get a quick lay of the land, and that would be it. You would be fine. You could return back to the actual group itself, and the battle could begin. However, upon your first initial entrance into the Sahuagin stronghold, you were immediately spotted by a group of Sahuagin who alerted some guards. You decided to surrender, and all of your weapons and things were taken from you, including Ulman's short sword that houses his spirit, leaving Ham to go autopilot for a while, which is something that he is not used to, especially in combat. After Hish broke the chains off the wall with his incredibly strong muscles and proceeded to get into an altercation with quite a few Sahuagin, Jill also is able to break the chains of everyone else using the powers of her, as she has refused to name it, nameless, in heavy quotes, deity. Upon breaking said chains, the lot of you were able to dispatch the Sahuagin and then proceeded to leave looking for your gear. You spent a short rest recovering, attuning to new items that you found inside of the Sahuagin's secret room, and then you returned back to where you were, hoping to trick the Sahuagin into thinking that you were one of them and that everything was going to be to go by exceptionally well. However, you did not plan on an inability to speak the language of these creatures to be at to be such a wall that you encountered, as well as disguising yourself as a guard whose body was still within the room. So we will pick up after you guys have already dispatched all of those guards, and you hear a cough followed by a smaller, raspier voice that says, Elmo wants to know who's there!
What are we looking at?
You guys see that there is what looks to be a human. If it had not spoken, you are fairly confident that you would have mistaken this for a corpse lying on the ground. They are emaciated. They do not look like they don't look like they got a lot in them. And especially not for that long. It looks like they are in their kind of like final moments before passing.
Ham is here!
Ham! And the body begins to crawl forward until it hits the extent of their chains, and then they just kind of defeatedly lay on the floor. You brought Ham. It's been ages since I've had Ham.
Ham starts to just prance over, and he goes to pick the locks on the chains, and as he says, "No, Ham person."
I don't want to eat people. I was a wizard. Oh, please. Okay, maybe I'll eat the people.
No.
We-
No, surely we have rations.
Yeah, Hish pulls rations out of his bag, and hands it to them. And he looks at Jill and says, "Do you think maybe you could do something about these chains?"
Did I manage to pick those?
Yeah, let's let the ham do their ham thing first.
Oh, now you don't want to.
Well, it's a little embarrassing.
Did
It's
I
too much
manage to
theatrics.
pick the locks?
Oh, yeah.
Or should I
These
roll?
are not difficult
Okay, cool.
at all. And as you pick the locks, you just, Elmo thanks you.
Is there a, blindfold on him?
No. He just seems
Oh,
to be
it's-
it looks like his eyes have just kind of gotten starry to the point of, they are losing their luster.
Ham would, help him up. Even if that meant, kind of having to prop him up.
And as you do, he's just slowly trying to get a bite of the ration.
Would a medicine check tell me anything more than we already know at this point?
Make a medicine check.
Okay. Yeah, Jill will kind of crouch down and kind of eye him over a little closer. Oh wait, what is my medicine bonus before I start rolling? Oh, that's not bad. Dirty 20.
Okay, so with your dirty 20, your magic, the level of going away that this guy currently is, you are fairly certain that unless you have a revivify that you're willing to spend on this particular individual, their body's going. It's beyond magical means at this point in terms of help.
Yeah, Jill, I think while he's distracted, will kind of look at Hish and just kind of give eyes, just it's kind of grimace a little, just
Yeah. Yeah, I think he just kind of nods and says, you said your name was Elmo?
Yes. Duncan, is that you?
No, I'm not Duncan. My name is Hish.
Oh, you have armor that looks just like Duncan's.
We probably shop at the same store.
Oh, I see.
What if I can ask, what were you doing here? That
Oh, well, we were hired by a mariners guild to investigate what'd been going on here. Thought that it was lizard folk still, and well, we've handled the likes of them before, but we just weren't. We weren't prepared. There were so many Sahuagin. Too many. Do you have a way of escaping? Have they caught on to you yet?
Hish kind of looks back at the the Sahuagin laying on the floor in this room, and looks back at him, and he looks back at them, and he says, we haven't really found a means of escape yet. No. I don't know how many know we're here.
Well, may you act with stealth. Would you already? Were you not already clad in armor such as Duncan's? I would let you know that we believe that they've hidden our armor somewhere within the temple. But you seem like you're doing fine.
Well,
What is your reason for being here?
I appreciate the thought. We were sent by the town of Saltmarsh. Sort of a similar situation, investigating what's going on here.
They're trying to summon them. They're
Summon
trying
who?
to summon Sekolah.
Do I know who Chocolate
You
is?
can roll a history check or a religion check.
I'm gonna roll a religion check.
I'm gonna roll
Okay.
the history.
That's a dirty 20.
That's a 23.
Okay. The both of you, through your encounters with the Sahuagin and through just living along the coastline, you have heard of this deity before. It is the god of the Sahuagin. Is Sekolah.
Daddy Shark. Got it.
I rolled a nat 20 on my religion, so
Yes.
Wow.
no one Ham knows that, but you know he does.
Ham, there was a moment probably about a week and a half ago that you recall where you and Ulman talked to a very nice looking man in a suit, and there was a moment where that man shared with you quite a bit of information. This is a part of that information. So, Ham, you instinctively know about Sekolah.
Yeah, I think Hish like looks back at Albus and Jill and Ham and kind of like, is that
Bad.
Bad news. Bad
Really
news,
bad.
babies.
More gods.
Just God.
Sahuagin god, yes.
another god?
Really big shark.
They've killed so many, trying to bring him here.
How are they trying to summon him?
Sacrifice.
Sacrificing their own?
I am the last of my party. I have watched has one, sometimes two members of who I thought were friends turned into objects for these things. Just organs to be played with. Our screams meant nothing. And you see that Elmo is looking like very far off at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hish puts his hand on their shoulder. I'm so sorry for what you've been through.
Well, at least I know it wasn't by their hand. And at that, you see his head just kind of lull forward a little bit more, and his eyes finish becoming a more matte looking material, and they are no longer alive.
I'd like to use a reaction
Sure.
and capture his shadow.
Most certainly you can do this.
Incredibly rude.
Read the room, Albus.
I mean, Albus doesn't move. It's just those last like thoughts Albus consumes.
Yeah. Hish lays them down and I think kind of closes their eyes.
Okay. Albus, what is the extent that you are able to, like, what are like passing thoughts that you can gain?
While disguised, I gain enough information to pass myself off as the person.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
I know I want to use this one. No. 14.
Okay. Sounds good. That's fine. So yeah, what are you guys going to do now?
Do we know, like, do we have an idea of where the chieftains would be? Or do we think we have enough information? We know what they're trying to do.
We also need to retrieve Ulman.
We do. This man, he said, Elmo said that he knew where his stuff got taken.
Yeah.
Was it just where we found our stuff?
Yeah, you guys already looted all of Elmo's stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose the only thing we can do is continue to look around. I don't see any other solution at this point.
I think we're just gonna have to keep going until we find him.
Yep.
This is gonna be fun.
I'd like to take a minute to cast motivational speech.
All right. Give it to me. What's the speech?
Hish, you would lose your bardic inspiration.
That's okay. I didn't use it. You snooze, you lose.
I can choose up to 5 creatures within range that can hear me for the duration, which is an hour. Each affected creature gains 5 temporary hit points and has advantage on wisdom saving throws. If an affected creature is hit by an attack, it has advantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Takes an hour to give this speech?
No, it takes a minute.
Oh, okay, thank God. I was like, that seems like a long time.
What do you say to us?
It's all in deep speech, but it sounds great.
Just like politely nodding along, just like, mm-hmm.
But you feel great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So everybody gets 5 temporary hit points.
Woohoo.
What is the difference between temporary and?
You cannot regain temporary hit points.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And you can only have temporary hit points from one source.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ham feels fuzzy.
Yeah, I think Hish stands up a little straighter and looks between the three of you and says, no time like the present, I suppose. Does anybody need to do anything before we go?
Mm-mm.
No?
Yes, and I'm gonna drink a potion of healing.
This is
I
Hish's
have
version of like, who needs to use the bathroom? Last call.
I do have one more potion. I think I might drink it now.
Do I have one?
I think I'll drink it now.
I do not.
Fantastic.
I have 3 more in the bag if you need one.
You know, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's a potion of healing again?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
All right, now that we've had our 5-hour energy.
Ham think we should be sneaky.
Ham, I think that's a great idea.
And as he says sneaky, he like crouches down and starts like tiptoeing along.
We will most definitely follow your lead.
Yeah, actually, Ham, are you the sneakiest among us?
Ulman kind of sneaky. Ham sneak.
All right. Well, if you're sneakier than the rest of us, I think perhaps you should be a little further ahead so you can scout things out in case the rest of us are not quite as sneaky.
Okay.
Which directions do we have to go?
So,
where did we come from and where do we go?
I will not cotton eye Joe this.
I was waiting. I was hoping.
That is true pain. Okay, so you guys have gone. You came from the north initially. It was a long hallway, and then there were several entrances and exits. Then there was the winding way towards the south that you remember hearing the sound of picks against rock, or metal against rock. And then to the west, there is another hallway that you briefly went down to murder a Sahuagin, and then you have not continued down past that point.
Then let's go west. Ham, please lead the way.
Okay.
We are all sneaking.
All right, so as you continue west and stealthing along, Ham, make a stealth check.
18.
Very good. I enjoy. So yeah, you begin stealthing along in front of your party members, and you see that as you continue to walk along this path, it had curved a brief right and then a left again. And looking down this hallway that you are now exposed to, you can see that there is a branching path along your left-hand side, but it also continues straight. So there are now 2 choices for you to go.
Ham go left.
Okay. Sounds good. So as Ham is leading the rest of you down this hallway, You see that this brief hallway actually then extends to a left-hand choice and a right-hand choice. So east and west.
Right.
Okay. So as you get to this room, you see a door, and you eventually open up this door. It's not actually locked, and there doesn't seem to be any light coming in on from the inside. There's actually not much light in this place except for Albus's 3 globules that he has had since last session, I believe you made, to appear as though we as the audience know it looks like a fucking aboleth, but like, it's okay. They look nice. And as you look inside of this room, you see that pale blue tiles cover the floor and ceiling of this room. Mosaics on the wall depict Sahuagin warriors sinking large sailing ships. There is a table in the center of the room that is flanked by 2 ornate benches, and 2 coffers stand against the north wall, their lids leaning against their sides. But it doesn't look like anybody is in this room.
Not here.
Is there anything in those coffers that we can see?
They
like
are
any
empty.
swords? Nope, no swords. All right.
What's on this table? What's this table look like?
So this table, as you get a better look at it, appears as though it has not exactly been chiseled away, but it looks like this is just a large stone slab that has been weathered and worn away by like a river or some other flowing body of water that they have just set up on this table and kind of helped manipulate in such a way that it looks like there is a nice ring around the table, but if anything that you believe to have been worked stone, it is actually just the surrounding area, but it's also incredibly smooth, so you're fairly certain that this is more of a naturally occurring thing. It looks very heavy. It is a large stone.
Okay. No kind of dried blood on it or
Not on
anything
this.
like
It
that?
actually looks pretty amenable in this room.
Okay.
You can make an insight check if you would like.
I would love to. 17 plus, what's my insight? 6.
Okay. So with a 23, this looks like it was set up to almost be like a guest room.
But there aren't any beds or anything?
No. It just looks like a sitting room kind of thing. Like you would come in, sit here, wait to be called on.
Mm. Well,
Now we go back the other way.
other way, I guess. As I'm leaving, can I make a perception check?
Sure.
That was a 5 plus 6. So 11.
You don't spot anything out of the ordinary in this room.
Okay.
Okay, and then did you want to go back to the long, lengthy hallway or across the way to the other room?
Just the last choice. So left where I went, right.
Okay, sounds good. As you open up this room, because again, there are no locks in place here, you see that there are dark green tiles that cover the floor and the ceiling of this room, forming an incomplete mosaic that depicts Sahuagin warriors defending an underwater city from a tentacled monster. A table stands in the center of the room with small ornately carved benches to either side. 2 coffers are propped up against the north wall, their lids closed.
We could check for swords.
Yeah, Hish'll push the lid off the coffers.
Okay. Underneath both lids, there is nothing within the coffers.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Shit.
Do you think they're expecting people?
What do you mean?
I mean, does this god come with, like, I don't know. It just, this seems like an entertaining space.
I cannot claim to know enough about Sahuagin culture to discount whether or not they engage in cocktail hour. I don't know.
I was just asking a question. Just asking. I guess nothing in here either. Dead end, I suppose.
All right, time to backtrack.
Back the other way.
Okay, so then are you continuing down the hallway where you hadn't investigated before? Sounds good. So as you are continuing down this hallway, you eventually, after what feels like several minutes of walking, you come to a T in the road where you have your left and right hand choice. Again, these directions would be north and south, just so that way I can help keep track of what direction you are choosing on the map. And you can see, kind of peering around the southern side corridor, that there is what looks to be another quick inlet towards what could be a room.
Is south to the right?
South for you, yes, is to the right.
That way.
Okay. So then you start making your way down this hall, and then as you had assumed, there is a door that is up against this wall.
Ham check door.
Okay. So the door has no lock, and as you open up the door and look inside, you notice that the air is distinctly colder than it is in the outside chambers. This room contains no furniture, but around the walls hang various carcasses. Some spare hooks attached to the wall are unoccupied, and you see white bones heaped in the northeast corner.
Perception?
Okay.
21.
Okay, so with a perception check, as you look around, you see and recognize what these carcasses are. You see that one is an octopus. There are 2 giant eels, and then you see that there is a male dwarf, a male human, and 8 lizard folk that are all splayed up on these hooks along the wall. All are fresh and or relatively well preserved, but you recognize that the humanoids are much fresher than the eel and the octopi are.
Ham just closes the door and turns around to you guys and says, "No need to go in there. Just freezer, lots of bodies."
Yep.
Let's press on.
I trust you on that one, Ham. Let's go.
Okay. And then are you continuing down the hallway that you were walking towards? Okay. Yeah. So that ends up extending to the left-hand side of you, and as you continue to walk down this left-hand side, you begin to hear the sound of metal on stone yet again. And this hallway that you are walking down proceeds for another 100 feet or so.
Keep going.
Okay. So as you go, you then see that it extends to the left-hand side, and walking down this corridor, there is a sense of familiarity as you look to your right and you see the room that you all had actually hid away in initially during your run around. It seems like there isn't a guard that has been sent out on the look for you to continue on. It seems like they have just accepted that you have escaped clearly. And you see that to the south, as you keep going, there is once again the right-hand path, which will take you back to where Elmo is, and the left-hand path, where the sound of metal against stone seems to be getting louder.
Big circle. Well, away!
Okay. So you're going to the left?
Yeah, to the grinding.
Okay. Make a stealth check, and I'd like all of you to make stealth checks as well.
Oh boy.
Dirty 20.
10.
Big money, no whammies. 8.
Okay. Sounds
Sorry,
good.
I'm trying to find my. Oh, 11.
All right. So, Hish, you also don't roll at disadvantage from wearing, because you're wearing full plate, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes. But you have the mithril full plate, so it's quiet.
Okay, well, I forgot.
Yeah. So just, what was the first number you rolled?
I only rolled once.
Oh, okay,
so.
cool. Never mind. All's good. So as Ham, you poke your head out and you can hear your party members kind of trudging along behind you. They are being loud, but the sounds of this room are much louder than even your party members. And as you peek in, to the west of a large archway stretches an area of plain stone construction. 3 pillars extend to the tiled ceiling, and in the center of this chamber, a wide staircase leads down. An unfinished half-wall surrounds 3 sides of the staircase. Piles of colored tile sit near the wall, awaiting placement. The sound of water lapping against stone can be heard coming from the bottom of the stairs. And as you look in, Ham, you see that there are 10 slaves working by torchlight, smooth and dress the unfinished exterior walls of the hall. Each slave is shackled at the ankles with a length of chain and wears a metal collar. There are several Sahuagin that oversee the slaves as they work, while others rest and chat near the top of the stairs. None of them seem to notice you as you guys get close, but you have time to be able to stop your party members from continuing on forward to get a good idea of what you would like to do next.
Ham spins around and puts his hand up. And he creeps back over towards you guys.
From where we are, can I make a perception check to see if any of the Sahuagin have a particularly Ulman looking sword on them?
Sure, make a perception check.
Let me just look with my special eyes. It's 19.
None of them have the short sword that bears your friend's resemblance.
No signs of Ulman from what I can tell.
Maybe we go back to the entrance?
Is there a way, can we go through that room into other? Or is it just a dead end?
Did I see anything?
You make a history check. And you can all make history checks as well.
Okay.
11?
6.
26.
3.
Okay, Albus, you remember hearing on the boat ride over that the fortress was once more above sea level than it currently is. So you are assuming that the stairwell that is within the center of this room that you can hear lapping water from leads deeper into the Sahuagin stronghold.
If it's in the hands of somebody more higher ranking, then it's probably deeper within.
But maybe guard took it.
Jill didn't see any of the guards with wielding Ulman.
Ulman was a very handsome sword. That might be great to present to somebody of higher standing to get a little bit more clout.
So we deal with this then, and then we press on.
Ham is very tired. Ham doesn't know how much further he can press on today.
Ham, we can't exactly sleep in here. There's not really anywhere safe for us.
But Ham knows way back to entrance.
We also have to do a job, Ham. We have to see what's down there.
I have to get Ulman.
We can't just leave Ulman behind.
We're not leaving him behind. We'll come back.
I as much as I would like to keep going, I can say that if perhaps we had some more time to rest, I could maybe do a little research. I think I may know a spell that could help me find Ulman. I don't have it prepared at the moment.
I think if we leave, we're going to have a harder time getting back in. And if we leave, I mean, they're expecting us to leave, I assume. I would be worried that they're waiting at the entrance.
We could hide in the tile room.
The finished one, with the open coffers. We'll rest in there, and we'll each take a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Yeah, I think, Hish motions for Ham to lead them back to the finished tile room.
I take us back the way we came through the kind of back route that avoids the prison.
We
I think you
cannot
muted.
hear you.
I had muted myself. That's fine. So as you guys continue on and get to this guest room, what is the order of watches as you are all trying to like sit down and gear yourself up for a long rest in the middle of an enemy fortress?
I think
Joe-
Hish, or
Joe,
sorry,
you should sleep first.
Right. I'm just going to do a little studying before I go to bed. And I think like Jill's gonna like have the journal out, and like the way I picture in my head the way of her preparing spells is like she writes in the journal like, you know how to do this, or you don't know how to do this today, or like she uses the journal to like write into existence what spells that she has prepared for the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're writing in the black journal then?
Yeah.
fun.
Oh my god, Jill is the author.
Sounds good. So, Albus, make a perception check.
Don't look. Stop looking.
Womp womp womp.
Womp womp womp.
Boo.
Womp womp womp.
Boo. Stop.
Albus, as you're on high alert right now. You're thinking about everything that is possibly going to go wrong during this watch, but you are an absolute perfect creature, so your decision means you can sleep with full certainty, knowing that you will be able to sleep in this room. And as you are getting ready to find your resting spot, you look over and you can hear the sound of a pen against paper, which is not uncommon, but there's something almost unsettling about it in this time and this place. And you look up and you see Jill writing in what appears to be a small, a black ledger that is significantly smaller than the book that you had taken from her, from either of the 3 books that you had taken from her previously, but it looks like the same material has been used along the sides. And based off of the way that she is writing in this book, you feel like this is religious in nature.
Okay. I don't react to it.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Hish, you are doing first watch. Who's doing second watch?
I think actually, since Jill is staying up to write anyway, Jill is gonna take. He would suggest that Jill takes first watch, and Hish will take second watch.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, since I did open up the journal to write in it, was there something from last time whenever Jill had kind of like abruptly closed the journal?
When you open up the journal, there are no additional entries, but there are no other entries that you remember seeing the back and forth with. It's not recorded when you open up the tome. When you open up your tome, it is gone. The only entries that remain are the ones specifically about the breaking of chains.
I see. Okay.
But you do actually see that there is another entry that is listed below when one of Tharsden's cruxes has been destroyed. And you can see that it is an entry describing you using your own blood to break the chains within the temple itself.
Yep, I did that. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think she'll be writing it as she prepares spells and will be on guard.
Okay, sounds good. So your watch while you are preparing this goes by uneventfully. Who's on second watch? Okay.
Hish is.
Hish, make a perception check.
11 plus, where is my perception? 6. So that's 7, 18? I'm bad at math.
Okay. So an 18, the far off metal against stone sound that you know now to be the slaves working on some far off thing has stopped. It has fully ceased at this point. And you can hear the sound of far off, just far off communication. It seems like it's very distant and echoing as you kind of like put your ear to the door. But overall, your watch goes by uneventfully as well. And were you guys doing 3 watches or 4 watches?
I would think we would do 4 watches.
Okay, sounds good. Who's on third watch?
Okay.
Okay. So, Albus, make a perception check.
13.
Okay, so you do not hear anything out of the ordinary from what you have heard before. It is eerily silent. And looking over at your friends, you aren't exactly sure how it could possibly happen, but it turns out that Ham actually does have a light snoring that occurs, and as the snore happens, you can see on the blue form that there is like a little quivering corner, and then it ceases. And then the snore happens again and it quivers, and then it ceases.
I'm also going to record what we've done so far into the Whisper Jar.
Sounds good. All right. And then Ulman. Or, sorry, Ham. You are on watch. Make a perception check.
Ham, keep watch with Bims. Ham doesn't keep very good watch with Bims. Ham busy playing with Bims. 9.
Okay. Sounds good. So as Ham, your friends are asleep. You are busy playing with Bims. And the door that is to the room gets thrown open wide. And you see as there are what appear to be 3 Sahuagin that are standing there in what one might describe as a search party. And upon seeing you, one looks kind of taken aback and just starts shrieking down the hallway. Albus, you, Jill, and Hish all wake up having taken the effects of a short rest. But because your long rest was interrupted by these Sahuagin, you will not gain the benefits of such. There are 3 standing in the doorway. I would like for all of you to roll initiative as this search party has called out for you.
Hey, not cool. not
I rolled
sexy, not fresh, not fun.
1. Thank you very much.
14.
22.
26.
5.
Do we get short rest healing die or
Yeah,
just nothing?
you guys can use your short rest. It's like having taken a short rest, but no long rest capability.
Boo. Okay, let me just do that real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. Short rest achieved.
Sounds good. Okay, so first up is Ham with an initiative of 26.
Yeah. I rolled an 18.
Nice.
Ham immediately, like, looking over, slurps down into a bunch of goo, runs underneath the feet of using Misty Step, the lizard, or the Sahuagin, pops up behind the back one, and then green flame blades him.
Okay.
While yelling, "No, bad, no, fine." It's going to be 19 to hit.
Oh, for sure.
Great. Do I have sneak attack? There's no one within 5 feet of me, right?
Yeah. Then yeah, you'd have
Cool.
sneak. And you can see that this back unit looks like, if anything, they are the little nerd of the group. The others kind of have like a big hammer that they have. Another has what looks to be a much more menacing trident, and then this was the guy that they brought along, who also has a trident, but this is clearly like his first detail that he's going out with veterans on.
He takes 22 damage.
Okay, so that is all that he had. How do you just slay this little nerd outright?
Ham just cuts his throat.
Okay. Just
as he's yelling, because he's the one yelling.
It's true.
And then the flame jumps to the next one.
Okay.
And does 12 damage.
Oh my god. Got it. Okay, so Gabe is dead, as that is what chat has named that sad poor Sahuagin. So then next up is Jill. Jill, you have woken up very abruptly to the sound of Sahuagin screams that were then cut short into a very guttural utterance.
Don't like this. Not cute. So yeah, let's just do a guiding bolt at one of them. One of the big beefy boys that's left.
The one that the fire just leapt to, or the one that is in the very front but has yet been untouched?
Let's go with the one that the fire leapt to.
Okay.
For 23.
23 totally hits. Roll for damage.
Oh, high numbers. Like that. 2 5s, 6, and a 4. That's 20 points of radiant damage.
This member of the search detail is also destroyed. As your red-hued guiding bolt just hits this guy, and you watch as it's almost like dragging the eraser tool through a fully finished photo in Photoshop, but it just completes this spiral erasure, and then you watch as they just seem to turn into almost a dust.
Ooh, sick.
There is one Sahuagin left. And they are going to disengage. And they are going to start... Or actually... No, they won't disengage. They're just going to try and hoof it really, really, really fast. So they are going to be running by you, Ham. You can take an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Nerf them.
I don't have a bonus action, so I can't make this a crit. I rolled a 19. I was trying to remember if I had to have them cursed. But I assume 19 plus.
Oh, yeah. No, that totally hits.
Cool. Another 21 damage.
Okay.
I rolled almost max on that.
This guy seems much hardier than the newbie Sahuagin that you had aced earlier, and they are just going to continue to run, and they move their full 60 feet down the hallway, and then proceed to take a stark left at the long, lengthy hallway that you know leads back towards the front of the fortress. Okay, so that is it for their turn. Next up, Albus.
If I get up and run out the door, would I see them?
You would not, because they have used their full movement to go around a solid corner.
All right, what do we do?
Ham go. Can I dash off and try to follow?
For sure.
Even just to get him in range of a Eldritch Blast.
So, Ham, what is your movement?
I see.
30 feet, you'd be able to get up to them.
Yeah, I assume that's base movement. I don't know where to find it on this sheet.
On D&D Beyond, your movement is generally going to be at the very top.
Next to your proficiency bonus.
Okay, I am just blind. Yeah, that's 30.
Yeah, so you'd be able to get up to this individual. Make another attack.
Yeah. Uh, 18?
Okay, an 18 hits. Roll for damage.
Another 13.
Okay. So they are still standing and screaming very loudly at this point.
Are we running after him?
Yeah, I think Hish would run after him.
Okay. So Jill would be the next person who would be able to get close enough to see them.
All right. I'm just gonna get within spell sniping range. Let's see what we got. What we got here. Are they 60 feet away?
They are within 60 feet.
All right. I'm Toll the Dead. That's a wisdom save, baby.
Okay, a wisdom save is a 13.
That fails.
They
so
are for
that's
sure
gonna
injured too.
2d12. Oh, I never get to roll these boys. 17 points of necrotic damage.
God. Looking good. He's still alive, but man, have you guys done quite a significant amount on him.
Jill's just like, come on. Just die. I'm tired.
Okay, and they are going to use their movement to continue running down a long corridor. They are going to not disengage from you, Ham, so you do get an attack of opportunity as they continue to book it, just yelling.
$21.
21 does hit. Roll for damage.
$15.
Oh my god. Are you adding sneak attack to attack of opportunity?
You're right.
Yes. Because you
Or
cannot
move.
sneak on an attack of opportunity.
Move 8 of that damage.
Okay, got it.
My bad. I've been playing a lot of Pathfinder. It procs every attack that you haven't.
Your silly made-up rules game. Yeah, so this individual, very much damaged, but running very quickly down this hallway. Albus, by the time that you would be able to go up and actually be able to see them, they are outside of the radius of your dancing light spell if you were able to recast it, because you are in darkness. This entire fortress is geared towards night vision creatures.
Cool. But I know they're there, right?
You know that they are there.
Within, say, 60 feet?
From where they ran, because they go before you in the initiative order, you wouldn't be able to know where they were within 60 feet of where you are.
Cool. That's my turn.
Okay. Hish, same thing is to you. This creature is going to be outside of your direct striking range, but you're able to get to a point where you can see them hightailing it down a corridor.
I would not be able to catch up with him if I ran after them, right?
You would be able to get up to them if you used an action surge.
Oh hell yeah, I got that. I did a short rest. Yeah. I'd like to use an action surge to use
Another dash action.
Another dash.
So yeah, Hish gets directly up against this fellow. Ham, it is your turn.
I can still run up, right?
Yes.
Then Ham will continue to pursue. I'm in hot pursuit.
They are 60 feet away at this point. from where you are, so you wouldn't be able to get there with just a move action. You could use a bonus to dash, though, because you are rogue.
Ham will just shoot him then. From where
Okay.
he is. He steps out into his stance and holds out his hand and fires. Does 18 hit?
An 18 does hit. Roll for damage.
7.
Okay. Just barely hanging on.
You get 2 of those, right?
Not yet. 5th level.
But you're higher than 5th level.
I am level 4 warlock.
Cantrips are based off of your character level.
Truth.
It doesn't reflect that in my character sheet?
It's supposed to. So just roll
Okay.
it anyways.
Is that considered a separate attack then for the second bolt?
Yeah.
21.
Okay. 21 hits. Roll for damage.
8 damage.
Hish, as you get up on this individual, 2 signature blasts of eldritch magic just pierce past you through the Sahuagin, who then mid-scream just falls and topples down to the ground. And as you look behind you, you see Ham standing there, smoke billowing off of their fingers as they...
Yeah, I think Hish gives them a thumbs up, and he kind of leans over and does the hands on the knees and takes a deep breath, and he goes, "Proud of you, Ham."
Hish, make a
Ham.
perception check.
Okay. 5 plus 6, 11.
Okay, with an 11, you hear the sounds of webbed feet slapping against stone, and they are getting nearer. You're not sure which direction it's coming from, and you're not sure how many, but you can hear that sound.
Yeah, I think Hish, he goes, "Okay, back in the room, go, go, go." And we are going to move back into the room, and I think Hish is going to try and quietly close the door behind them.
Does the door open
Ham
inside
grab the
or
body
out?
and drag it.
Yeah, you can definitely drag the body.
I want to. In fact, I think Ham just slurps it up like
was
he did
gonna
with
say.
Jill.
Okay.
Like you did to whom?
But I think he just absorbs it.
Okay. It'll dissolve over time, but it's a nice snacky in the meantime. Okay, so you guys bar yourself in the guest room. The door is from where you guys are. It is a push to open. For the Sahuagin, it is a pull.
Okay.
Is there anywhere to hide in this? Could we all hide behind that big table? Would we all fit?
Make an insight check.
Okay. I'm gonna use this one because none of my dice have been treating me right today. What is my insight? That's 10 plus 6, 16.
Okay. Hish, this table could barely conceal you, let alone 3 other people you had to worry about.
What about the coffers?
Yeah, how big are the coffers?
The coffers are not large enough to stow away several humans. You're looking at maybe if you cut one of them in half, you could probably use both of the coffers.
Can we bar or stop this door in any way?
Make a insight check. And I will let anyone else roll an insight check as well.
Let's do it, baby. I know the law.
18.
Ooh, 11.
16.
Albus, you have a thought. You have an idea as a perfect being. They are after the remains of the other Sahuagin forces. The ones that you're guessing from those cries that rang out will be found in a specific location, a location where the traitors are. You feel like if you quickly, quote unquote, did up the hallways leading into this guest room and then hid in the other guest room, the one that is yet unfinished, that it could possibly buy you enough time.
When you say do up,
There's a lot of blood that needs to be smeared.
how quickly can I do that with shape water?
With shape water,
Oh no!
you can do it very quickly. It
How
will
much
take
blood-
you roughly a minute.
Do I have access to?
With what? How much blood do you have access to?
With the
You're just gonna
creature.
roll them up like a toothpaste tube and just
You could, given your natural predilection for oozing.
Disgusting.
I don't like the phrase predilection for oozing.
So are you making blood?
Yeah, so like there's another body out in the hall, right? Or did you slurp them both?
I just slurped one, so there's 2 bodies here.
Okay, so yeah, Albus is straight up bloodbending.
Ham like appears like above and to the right of you and goes, I'll help, and then just holds out his hand and begins to just eject blood onto the walls.
Y'all go hide in the other room. Go.
Jill's just like, oh, leaves.
don't like any of this. But yeah, Hish is going. Hish is out. No, thank you.
Okay. So you all quickly smear blood everywhere around this room. Albus, you manipulate the blood to make it look like tasteful drag marks leading into this guest room, to really sell like, no, the horrors are within that room right over there. Make a deception check.
15.
Is this one of the ones that you have Kalishtar bullshit for?
No, that's only persuasion checks.
Okay, so 15. Got it. So you feel like it's good enough.
Amy T. Falcone, I hope I'm doing you proud.
So Ham, Albus just grabs hold of your arm and the 2 of you then go into the unfinished guest room. I would like the 4 of you to make stealth checks.
Please. Spare me. 6.
Am I also making a stealth check?
Yes,
Sorry.
all of you make stealth checks.
Yeah.
23.
N minus 1, 9.
21.
So, Hish, as you and Albus are in the midst of hiding, part of you wants to address the fact that, like, why are you so good at manipulating blood into this? This is really gross. And Albus, you are just shooting Hish this knowing look like, I am a perfect being. Do not second guess my decisions. And you are having just like the electric stare between the 2 of you about if we live, it's fine. And Jill, you and Ulman are geared up and being as incredibly quiet as you possibly can. And as the 4 of you maintain this stealth position, that is when we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I love this here crew. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventure merch. I went on autopilot there. I don't know if there's even anything at that link right now. So, hey, we're going to try and get merch to you soon, but consider joining us on Discord. It is a really fun time. I look forward to seeing you, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! And we're back. Hello, everybody. I hope you're excited. Because the Sahuagin certainly are. They are, as you guys are lying in wait, you eventually hear the tried and true flip-flappies of the Sahuagin feet coming down the hallway. And you hear their barks back and forth to each other. And then you see them maneuvering over, or you hear them maneuvering over towards the hallway. And there is a gasp of just these, like... And they are just like shrieking in terror at the sight that is beheld upon them. And you hear them rushing forward towards that door. What would the four of you like to do during this point? Okay.
Shh, lady.
I would like for
We're
everyone
trying
to make
to sneak.
stealth checks.
Oh boy.
Dooch, dooch, doo.
As you try and Scooby-Doo past the Sahuagin.
16.
17.
What? 13.
18.
Okay, so everyone except Hish is able to very, very quickly stealth along. But Hish, even with the sound of your armor clanking, even though it necessarily shouldn't, it's still getting a little bit used to. Magic items are always weird because they conform to your body after you've attuned to it, and it's just, man, like, you must have lost like 1 or 2 pounds since yesterday because, like, it's just not fitting the same way that it should. But you are able to continue stealthing by, and you see that these Sahuagin are just like, one is on their knees over like a half-bloodied corpse of another Sahuagin, just like looking completely distraught over this body. But yes, you guys are able to Scooby-Doo maneuver your way out. Then you see that there is the hallway stretching left or right. What would you guys like to do?
I think Hish would try to indicate for them to go towards the hallway that leads to the down part, to where they were excavating
Okay.
before.
Does everybody have potions of water breathing? Who needs it?
Let me check.
I think somebody maybe gave me some. I don't remember.
I think I distributed one to everybody.
Uh,
I have 2 of them, I think.
okay. I don't have one in my bag.
I
Okay.
do not have one either.
You guys had received a healthy amount of breathing potions. There
were 12.
Yes.
Who needs them?
I'm fine.
I don't think my Cloak of the Manta Ray gives me... Oh, I can breathe underwater. I don't need it. Okay.
Okay.
So do you all have a means of breathing underwater? Jill,
Except
do
Jill.
you?
I have a swim speed, but I don't have water breathing capabilities.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 potions of water breathing.
I will drink the juice
Okay.
whenever it is necessary, not at this moment.
Sounds good. So are you guys going... Okay. So as you continue on down the hallway that extends to the right, as you're going a little bit on a longer loop to skip some what you feel might be populated rooms given the current circumstance. But you are able to make it down and around to this room. Currently, you see that there are no slaves working. There are no individuals that are guarding this set of steps down. And as you look at this set of staircase, you can see that there is just salt water that is lapping up against the 6th step as you look down into it. And it just seems like dark seawater.
Oh boy. Definitely don't like this.
Well, I mean, if Ulman's gonna be anywhere, it's gonna be down there. So drink your blue Gatorade and let's go. And Hish is gonna step into the seawater.
Okay.
Ham smushes his hat against his head and go for swim. Jumps in.
Glug, 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 baby.
It'll last for an hour.
Okay.
And Albus is going in too.
Sounds good. So as you guys descend into this waterway, having used blood as a distraction for the Sahuagin, you see that after descending these stairs, you find yourself in a large open area. There are stone pillars that rise from floor to ceiling, 2 on your left and 2 on your right. And also in this room, you can see ahead of you is a hallway that looks like it ends in a T shape. And to your right and to your left, there are also doorways.
There's no light here.
There is not. Albus, this is very difficult for you.
I'll mind link to everybody and just say, I'm gonna need you guys to lead the way because I can't see. I'm legally blind.
I think Hish comes over and like grabs you by the arm and then puts like part of his cloak in your hand. And just like thinks back to you. Just hang on to that. You said there were 2 doors in the room we're currently in, and then a hallway that tees off.
Yes. So left and right are they're actually archways. So they're just more defined, leading in from point A to point B. And then looking forward, that is where you see a hallway extend.
Let's go to the left first.
Okay. So as you go down this left hallway, there is a brief stretch for about 30 feet or so that continues down this hall, and then there is an abrupt left-hand turn. And taking this left-hand turn, you see that there is another archway that is along your right-hand side going down this hall. And then the hall continues on. What would you like to do?
Oh my god, we're gonna be in here forever. It's a maze. I'd like to look into the archway to the right.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Oh. That's a 9.
A 9? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to blame that on Albus still holding onto your cloak. Because you have no way to tell him to let go.
Okay, so as you look into this room, Hish, you can see that the walls and the floor of this room are tiled in a very deep gray because dark vision just turns everything into like various shades of gray. You recognize this to be a blue on your gray meter, like you've come to understand the colors in your years of age. And in the center of this room is a table with a small bench beside it. A closed coffer leans up against the south wall, and a seaweed bed fills the southwest chamber. There is a small group of Sahuagin in this room that are vocalizing what seems to be the raucous sounds of merriment. And as these Sahuagin are in the process of just having their own little mini party, one of them stops and then points directly what looks like at you, Hish, but then following the finger, it extends outwards just past you, and you can see that Albus, still holding the edge of your cloak, has just sort of floated more into view than you did, having come to a complete stop. And these four are now fully aware of you. I would like for you all to roll initiative.
Wow, my rolls tonight. That's a 3 for Hish.
13.
18.
23.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right, sounds good. So then they need to roll their initiative. Okay, so Ham, you are going to be acting first at this point.
I think can Ham see one of them?
With a little bit of swimming, you would be able to see them, yes.
Cool. I want to make one of them be my friend.
Okay, which one?
Ham like even in the water, like floating at an awkward angle, poses triumphantly and like just looks at the first one he can see. Or if one of them is particularly stronger?
You see one of them, two of them have spears, two of them do not.
One of the ones with spears.
Okay.
They need to make a wisdom save.
That is a 17.
That makes it.
Okay.
Blub, 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 blub.
And it is that one's turn. And it looks like the Sahuagin that you are used to fighting have always been above sea level. You're fighting them in their own environment at this point, and they can move a little bit quicker than you had initially thought that they would be capable of doing. And one of them is going to swim over towards you, Hish, as you had met at the door. And they are going to try and stab out at you with their spear. Are you missing any hit points?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
It doesn't sound good.
It gets advantage if you don't have all your hit points. That
right.
is a 14 to hit, though, so I'm assuming that it does not. All right, so it is going to try and attack again. And that is a blomp blomp, a natural 20.
Don't like that one.
I'm gonna eat that one.
No, this wasn't one that rolled that many last week.
But it's acquisitions incorporated, so it would be extra tasty.
Yeah.
Down the hatch.
All right, so that is going to be for a total of 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it makes one more attack with its spear for a modified 20 to hit.
Okay.
And that is for 4 points of piercing damage.
Okie dokie.
And that is all that it can do. It is right up against you and Albus, and there are 3 others that are still at the table. Next up, Albus.
How dark is it?
It's pretty fucking dark.
Is it dark enough where I would not be able to see a creature that I was trying to hit?
You could see one creature, and that is the one that is directly on Hish.
I will attack that creature.
Okay, sounds good.
With the Claw of Hayatel Kita. I have a swim speed, so this will not be a disadvantage.
That is correct.
11?
11 does not hit this boyo.
Jill, how about some galaxy brain going straight up in your brain hole?
Love that.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up. Hey, Jill.
Hey, me.
It's your turn.
Okay. Let's see. How do I want to go about dealing with this? Hmm. Okay. How many could I potentially get in a whatchamacallit, 10-foot radius without
You can
hitting
hit
any of my
3
friends?
of them.
Okay, that sounds good. I would like to cast Shatter, so that's a con save. Yep, that's a con
Okay.
save.
Okay, so one of them succeeds and 2 fail, and one of them even got the other side of the Yak Ink die, which is the Yak Ink symbol on a 1.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
I
can
will.
you fully read Shatter for me?
Yes. A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point. Let's make a con save. Creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic materials, stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. That doesn't apply. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spell's area.
Sweet. Sounds good. So the table shatters as well.
Whoops. Sorry about that. Let me get one more d8 here. All right, that is 14 points of thunder damage, not halved.
Okay. Sounds good. There we go. Got it. And then did you have a bonus action you would like to do?
No, not at this point in time.
Okay, sounds good. So next up is one of the Sahuagin that does not actually have a spear on them, but you see what looks like they, with their claws, just seem to tear a length next to the side of their head, and as they do, you see that their claw marks actually leave what look like magical tracers in the air that then coalesce into a singular bolt, and they are going to rear back and then throw it towards Albus with this large magical bolt directing it towards him.
Can they see me?
Yes, they can.
Can I see them?
You cannot because of low light vision.
Then they would have advantage.
Okay. So, does a 15 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. So, they are going to make contact with a guiding bolt spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so... Albus, you are going to be taking 17 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And you are now glowing.
Mm-hmm. Can I see anything now?
With the glow, I will say that you can see the other 2 that are still at the table, but you can't see the one that actually threw the bolt.
Okay.
And that is all that it can do for its turn. Next up is the other big O beefy boy, who is going to swim up, and Albus, seeing as how you are glowing, it is going to try and strike out towards you. That is a 21 to hit. Okay. For 7 points of piercing. And then does a 17 hit.
Shield.
Okay. Then they are going to make their third attack towards you. Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
It's going straight in my belly.
And that is for a total of 9 points of piercing.
I had 9 left.
So Albus goes down. Then next up is the second priest, who is also going to make this claw-like motion and then throw a bolt towards you, Hish. And they do not hit, because plate mail is silly.
It's very silly.
Okay, and then next up, our very own Hish Sunguard. Albus has fallen directly next to you.
Great.
And you currently have 2 of these beefier-looking Sahuagin directly on you.
Fantastic. So I would like to step in front of, if I'm stepping in front of Albus, am I still within like 5 feet of those 2?
I would say yes.
Okay, great. Then I would like to step in front of Albus.
It's more of like a quick push swim.
Yeah. And I'm going to attack with my flame tongue scimitar. However, I assume that I don't get to add the flame damage because
It is magical fire.
I love magical fire.
That is how I view it.
Great. Then yeah, I'm going to hit the beefy boy directly in front of me with my flame tongue scimitar. 15 plus 8, I assume that hits.
Yes.
Great. That's 9 damage. Slashing, piercing, I forget what it's called. And 7 flame damage. Is it? I forgot. I wanted to make it a sweeping attack. Is it too late to spend a
No, you
superiority
can just
die to do
add
that?
your sweeping attack into it.
Sweet. Then I'm gonna make it a sweeping attack. And he takes an additional 8 damage. And so does the guy next to him takes 8. The Sahuagin next to him takes 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit him again
Nice.
with my second attack. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit.
Boo. Okay. That's it. That's all I do.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is Ham.
Can I get up on a side of those boys where I am not within 5 feet of anyone? The 2 beefy boys, or
You would have to maneuver yourself into the room with your back turned to the 2 magic users.
okay, never mind. I am just going to maneuver up next to Hish then and Green Flame Blade. The one in front of me
Okay.
that they're not actively engaged with. $22.
Okay. 22 totally hits. Roll for damage.
Uh, 6 slashing damage and 8 fire.
Okay.
And the flames leap across to the other dude for 6.
Sounds good. They are both still alive and looking kind of upsetty. All right, so then next up is the boy that you just slashed at, who is looking pretty upsetty at what you've done. So they are going to try and stab out at you with their spear.
Can I impose disadvantage on him? with my Unsettling Visage?
Are you missing hit points?
No.
Okay, yes, you can.
I think Ham just like starts ejecting razor blades from his face. They just all leak out into the water and then turn to goo.
This figure rolled a nat 1, so they just look at you, just like they are just shocked at what they have just witnessed. They kind of steel themselves a little bit a second time and go to stab out towards you. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So that is going to be for 9 points of slashing damage. And then they are going to try and stab out at you a third time. That is a 19 on the die. And then 5 points of piercing damage with the spear. Or sorry, not 5. It would be 8 points of piercing damage with the spear. Sounds good. Next up is Albus. I need you to make a death save.
That's a 6.
Oh boy. Okay. Sounds good. Next up is Jill.
Hi, I'm a cleric. I'm going to swim over to Albus. I have a swim speed of 30 feet.
Okay, you swim, no problem.
No problem with swim. And I am going to slap both of my hands on him and give him a good old we're gonna do cure wounds, third level. Yep. So that's gonna be 4, 6, 14 plus 5, 19 points of healing.
That's so many healing.
And yep, that's my spell. So yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is one of the more magic-y types in the back, and they are going to clasp their hands together and they start speaking in Aquan. And as they do, you watch as a wave of magic washes out from them, and each of the Sahuagin that you are standing next to seems to steadily glow a little bit from whatever it was this one was saying.
Wait, Sahuagin speak Aquan?
Sorry, they speak Sahuagin. Mabi.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then this one gains back 5 hit points. 6 hit points. As it looks like they are able to cast a spell that can cure all of them, friends, at once. At least parts of it. Next up is going to be one of the other big stabby boys, who is still next to you, Hish. And they are going to try and spear out towards you. Does a modified 20 hit?
I just said, try me, bitch.
And that is a total of 11 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And then they miss with their second attack. And then they miss with their third attack as well, as 15 is not enough to hit you.
It is not.
All right, and then next up is the other priestess in the back, who is going to cast a spell onto you, Hish. So, Hish, I need you to make a wisdom save.
All right. 6 + 3, 9.
Hish, you feel like you are getting ready to fight back, but then as this spell takes hold, you feel your body tense as a hold person spell washes over you, and you are now paralyzed. At the end of each of your turns, you can repeat another wisdom saving throw to help make the spell end, but until then, you are considered paralyzed.
Fun. Okay.
All right, so next up is Hish. You are currently paralyzed. You can make a wisdom save.
All right. I'll do that. 17.
Okay, you are no longer paralyzed by the spell.
Brain flexed out of it.
Oh, yeah. So then next up, Ham.
I will continue going ham on this dude.
Oogie doogie.
As my bonus action, I would like to curse him
Okay.
as well.
Sounds good.
Pew, 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 pew.
The Blomps?
The bombs.
Blomp, 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 blomp.
Wah, 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 wah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wompa
Dude.
wompa womp.
I didn't say flame blade though, right?
Huh?
I didn't mention flame blade, right?
You did not, but that's fine.
Okay, thank you. $29.
Okay. That
And-
is a lot.
Does that double the damage on the secondary fire as well?
I would say yes.
Just 9.
Okay. Sounds good. So it looks like the first stab that you did was a lot stronger than it thought that it was going to be. So it is looking very upsetty towards you.
Oh,
and yes.
3 more on that for Hexblade. Sorry.
Okay. It is still alive. It is looking very rough, but it is still alive. And it is going to try and stab out towards you. Roll these ones. Does a 22 hit you?
Yee.
Okay. And that is for a total of 4 piercing damage. Then a 24 hits for 6 points of piercing damage. And then the third spear. 23 to hit. For 5 points of piercing. And that is all that it can do. So then next up, Albus. Albus, you were dying. You're doing better now. Your friend Jill's giving you back pats.
I can't see anything, can I?
You can see with very dim light the two that are in front of Hish and Ulman. Or Hish and Ham.
That's okay. I'm gonna dancing lights so that I can see, and I'm gonna give some second level healing to Hish. How about that?
Thank you.
You get 8 points, and that's it.
Awesome.
But I can see.
Yes.
I can fight.
Sounds good. So next up, Jill.
I would like to toll the dead on the one that's looking very rough.
Oh, he's looking super rough. So, let's see it. That's a 4.
Yep, nope, sorry, bud. Nice knowing you. 12
Okay.
points of necrotic damage.
This figure is no more. Having heard the toll of your dead? Question mark. It is now no longer moving and no longer posing a threat. It seems to have died in the waters. So, Jill, do you have a bonus action you would like to do?
No.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so next up are the priestess, and the 2 priestesses and the one other. So the priestess is going to rear back and is going to try and throw a bolt out towards you, Jill, to give you the glowies, if possible.
Don't fucking do it. No, not allowed. Stop it.
Alrighty.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me.
For a total of 18 points of radiant damage.
No, stop.
Okay. And then that is it for that creature's turn. The next is a champion that is standing next to you, Hish and Ulman. And it is going to try and stab out towards you, Hish. It seems to have taken a little bit of pride into its work to try and fight the biggest, shiniest non-Sahuagin that it can. Oh my god.
Is it a bwomp womp wow?
It's another bwomp!
I hate that.
No!
Mail
Stop
your dice
throwing
to
away.
I will
Have to-
put these, I will put them away.
I'm so hungry. Let me eat them.
That is for 7 total points. I'm switching dice. Okay, pushing all these there.
The blood
I have these ones that I'm going to use instead. There.
Yes, bring us to hell.
Yay. Okay, so it stabbed out at you and dealt 7. Its second attack. These are new dice. They're red ones. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the damage from the first hit?
7.
7, okay.
And then another 7 from the second hit.
Okay.
And then a 24 to hit on the third attack.
Listen, beef boy, I'm coming for you.
That is a total of 6 points of piercing.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
And then next up is the second priestess, who is seeing that the magic casters of your group are in the back as well. It is going to rear up with a guiding bolt and try and send it out towards Jill. As Jill, you are rather glowy at this point. And does a 15 hit you, Jill?
No.
It don't hit. So you are the glowing effects from that guiding bolt end up just being able to shimmy shake off of you as this second guiding bolt whizzes past. Hish, it is your go.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going after that beef boy with my scimitar.
Okay.
There's a 13 hit.
A 13 on the beef boy does not hit.
All right, I'm gonna use my second attack. 14 plus 8, I assume that.
Oh, that totally hits.
Great, perfect. Is the other beef boy still there?
Oh, he's fucking dead. Jill aced him.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to make this a disarming attack with my superiority die. So that's 13 slashing damage, 6 fire damage, and then an additional 7 damage.
Oh my god.
And where is it? When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die and add it to the damage to disarm the target if it fails a strength saving throw.
Okay, its strength save was 14.
Does not save.
So you knock the spear out of its hand.
Get out of here.
Okay. Sounds good. Ham, you're at the top.
I take my good sniff of my deceased opponent, and I aim my sights to... Can I see one of the casters from where I am?
Yes, you can see both of them.
I started blasting. Does a 24 hit?
24 does hit.
And a 17?
Okay. 17 damage or 17 to hit?
17 to hit.
Okay, yeah, 17 hits as well.
Cool. So that's 8 and 6 for 14.
Okay. So they're still up, but they are looking heavily injured at this point. Next up would be that guy, but he's fucking dead. So Albus.
How many casters are up?
There are 2 casters in the back.
I am going to hit the uninjured one, or I'm going to try to, with a 3rd level Ray of Sickness.
Sure.
Natural 1.
No beanies.
Hish, take some more Galaxy Brain.
Okie dokie.
All right. Jill, it is your go.
I'm sick and fucking tired of this caster back here. So I'm going to directly swim up to the one who shot me with a guiding bolt and pull out my flail and just whack him.
Sure.
And it's not a disadvantage because I have a swim speed. So eat your heart out, priestess. Okay. I don't know if you can see it.
Heck yeah!
I got a heck yeah.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
Boom, boom, boom. Heck yeah. All right, so that's going to be 2d8 plus 3. The modifier doesn't get doubled, right?
It's just not.
Okay. God, it's been so long since I've critted on an attack. Okay. That's good. 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
It looks like it's barely hanging on. You clock it with your flail, and you can see that, like, when they look back at you, their right eye isn't in the same, like, it's no longer following the same pattern as the other eye. You seem to have loosened it within the socket.
Ooh. Yikes. Sorry, friend. Do I want to use this? You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon. And just summon a big old gnarly chain and just whap them with it.
Do it.
Just fucking bean them with it. Okay. That's fuck. What do I add to it? Oh, probably my modifier. 23.
23 hits. Roll for damage.
It's 9 points of some sort of force damage.
What does this chain look like as it levels this priest?
Oh, you know what would be actually really gnarly if the chain kind of comes out and like wraps around the neck and just yanks.
Nice. I dig it.
Oof, owie, my bones.
But yes, that priest is no longer a moving. There's only one priestess left and one beefy boy. And the beefy boy has got it out for Hish. Has since the beginning. You got a flaming sword. You're underwater. He thinks that this is a fallacy. But is going to try and strike out as best they can. So a 24 to hit.
Yup.
That is for 5 points of piercing.
All right. I swear.
Wompity womp 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 womp.
No.
Getting advantage on every attack will do this to you.
Give me those fucking snacks.
Put them in the shipping box. Mail them off.
Yep.
We gon' crunch them.
I will eat them on stream.
So that is a total of 8 points of piercing. And then attack number 3. That's for 13 to hit, so I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Nope.
You've done enough.
And then it is the second priestess who is next to you, Jill. Now that you have swam up onto her. And she is going to... she is going to look at you and just quickly try and rear back another guiding bolt towards you. She seems rather frightened and perturbed by the whole affair. For a modified 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so that is going to be for 13 points of radiant damage.
Oof.
Hish,
it is your go.
All right. I'm gonna hit the beef boy. With my flaming sword. How's that beef boy looking?
He's looking pretty rough.
Looking pretty rough? Okay. Then I'm going to do... Well, I'll get to that next. 8 plus 8. 16. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 just hits.
Yes. I'm going to make it a distracting strike.
Okay.
So the next attack against it, that isn't me, gets advantage. And that's 10 slashing damage. Yes. 7 flame damage. And then 3 extra damage.
What does your flourish look like as you make this beefy boy no longer a beefcake?
Oh my god, yes. I think it's very simple. I think Hish, just fucking tired of this beef boy, just like hits him with the hilt and then just runs him through with the flame sword.
Nice.
Right through the belly.
And as you pull your sword back after you had kind of lifted them up off the ground, because you are in water, their body just stays in the position. And if anything, as you pull them back, they continue upward. And you know that in the next minute or so, they will probably bounce off the ceiling like an old DVD waiting screen and just perpetually be bouncing throughout this room based off of the force of your pull. Okay. So, Ham, there is one priestess left.
I will shoot them with my Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
That's a 10 and a 20 to hit.
The 20 will hit. The 10 will not.
Cool. 1 damage.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sounds good. Albus, it is your go.
How many dudes are left?
A singular one.
How bad's he looking?
Not very great.
Can I get an int save from him?
Sure. That is a 16.
That's my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Jill.
Yeah, so I'm a flail. This the priestess. Which that's I don't know why I did that with such flourish when I didn't have the thing pulled up. That's 24.
24 totally hits.
D8 plus 3. 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Bonus action, spiritual weapon comes up. Is about to come pop this Sahuagin as well. I don't think I can use the galaxy brain on the spiritual weapon.
Is it an attack?
It's an attack. Well, bonus action.
Then
Attack.
Yeah, it's as long as you are making an attack roll, you can use the galaxy brain, I'm pretty sure.
What is the
1d8, I believe. Yep.
let's see. Okay, 12.
A 12 to hit?
Yes.
A 12 is exactly what you needed to hit.
Yeah. Thank you, brain. Thank you for being a brain. Shit. I need to actually have the damage pulled up so I know what I'm doing. Oh, it's a D8 plus 5. Whew. 6 points of force damage.
Okay. Sounds good. So it is still awake. You're still up. Then. Okay. Got it. Okay. So, it is at that point that you see this Sahuagin starting to look like they are fearing for their life. And they quickly close their eyes and they bring 2 of their fingers up to the center of their forehead, and it looks like they are thinking awful hard about something. And then after they have finished their brief thought, you see them rear back with another guiding bolt, and they are going to try and strike out against you, Jill, even though you are right there.
Do it, bitch.
That is a 15.
No.
Okay. So that is a no in terms of their strike. Hish, it is your turn. I want you to make a nature check really quick. And Albus, you and Ham can make nature checks as well. And Jill, you'd be able to make natures as well. You can all make nature.
11.
Ooh, blah, 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 wow.
Nice!
4, baby.
All right,
Blah.
so Hish, you and Ulman come to the realization at the same time. When dealing with Sahuagin, as you have on the shore, you know that Sahuagin have a ability where they are able to magically communicate with sharks. And you believe that this Sahuagin may have just done such a thing.
Indoor. What the fuck?
What the shark?
Oh no.
Oh, well.
You just made Dingo gray out.
Bye.
Sorry.
Dingo's
No
like,
sharks
shark
today.
No shark gonna find me.
Mm-mm.
Well, my camera's just stuck like that. Okay. Well, for the moment, I'm just gonna I'm gonna swim up to the priestess and I'm gonna hit them
Okay.
with my sword. I assume a 15 plus 8 hits.
Oh, for sure.
How do I do damage again? I just did it. 10 slashing damage. And then 5 flame damage.
More than enough to deal with this priest.
Yeah, I think Hish just like swims up. Jill is next to this priestess,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah, I think Hish swims up like behind and around Jill and then just like slashes the priestess across the throat.
Nice. I dig it.
I do too. Hish doesn't have a way to communicate. That was the last Sahuagin, right?
Yes, in this room.
Okay. Hish doesn't have a way to communicate. I think Hish turns to Albus
Mhm.
and like points at his own temple, the temple of his head.
What is it?
If I'm assuming correctly, I think that Sahuagin just contacted sharks. They can essentially mind link with sharks and tell them things. So we may have that to deal with. Can you spread that around to the rest of the group?
We got sharks incoming.
Fuck. It just never ends. Well, let's just fucking scram, I guess.
Can sharks see in the dark?
Sharks can smell blood.
That's fun and fresh and sexy.
It's just what they're into. I'm not going to shame them.
I'm not shaming them. I'm just saying.
So what we
Fun.
doing?
What's in this room again, Indoor?
So, what was in this room? As you look around, there was a table that existed in the middle of this room that has been shattered. There is a kelp bed that is off in one of the corners with just these large seaweed fronds kind of extending out from the ground in this general section. And you can also see that there is a closed coffer that leans against the south wall.
Open that baby up.
Okay. So as you open this baby up, you see that there is a small leather pouch that contains a fine set of thieves' tools that have ivory handles along the actual tools themselves. There is 340 silver pieces scattered loosely around the container, as well as a silver goblet with some strange kind of insignia along the sides of it. And you can see that around the edges of this goblet, you can see that there are stylized lightning bolts with the words Jupiter, Maximus, and Optimus written underneath each of the bolts.
Okay. Thieves' tools, silver goblet. How much silver?
340 silver pieces.
Okay. Yep. All right. No Ulman then. Okay. Yeah, Jill's just gonna point to the next chamber and just be like, meh? Like questioning swimming motions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hish follows along.
Do the next
Like,
chamber.
tries to point back out, but sees everyone going and like continues on.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you continue down this hallway, it extends to the right, and then you can see that it splits into what looks to be an archway into another room on the right, and then it leads down to a hallway on the left.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time visualizing this.
So as you are, because you guys didn't double back to go back to the staircase and then try and cheese it, you went down continued down the hallway that you were on,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
swimming forward, the hallway extends to the right-hand side. And as you continue swimming around that hallway, you see that
Okay.
it splits into a T. On the right-hand side is an archway that leads into another room, and on the left-hand side is more hallway.
Let's go to the left.
Okay. So as you continue down this left, you see that it immediately pitches to the left hand of where you guys are, again into another length of hallway, possibly about 60 feet long.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. So as you are getting to the end of this hallway, I'd like for you to make perception checks.
Okay.
Everybody?
Yeah.
I would hope so because I just rolled a 5 plus 6, 11 for perception.
19.
5.
21.
Okay, so the 19 and the 21, the two of you both hear what sounds like a gross amount of Sahuagin coming from directly ahead of where you are currently swimming. Hish and Albus don't seem to have taken notice of it yet, but you're fairly certain that there is going to be an incredibly dense number of Sahuagin in the room that you are currently on your way towards.
Yeah, I think Jill's gonna like throw out her arm.
What's going on?
There
And
is
you are
a
muted.
gross amount of Sahuagin, or what sounds like a gross amount of Sahuagin, coming up in the next room.
Then which way should we go?
I'm conflicted because more Sahuagin means more chances of finding Ulman, but on the other hand, I'm pretty worn out.
Ham like motions at you and is
Yeah.
like, Ham thinks we have plenty of reinforcements and we did a lot of hurt to them.
And we don't have Ulman. We need Ulman.
Ham, more friends though can help.
Did anybody indicate to Hish to stop?
Yeah, Jill and Ulman,
Oh, okay.
or Jill and Ham had both been like, maybe not. Go into this next place.
Okay. Yeah, I think Hish is just looking between everyone. Not totally sure what's going on.
I'll relay that Ham wants to go back, but we still haven't found Ulman.
Also mentioned the gross amount of Sahuagin.
Also, there's a whole bunch.
Disgusting amount.
There's a hopeless amount of Sahuagin, and
Yeah.
it's actually hopeless. It's not just a swarm of spiders.
Yeah. Hish. Yeah, Hish looks at Ham and then looks back at Albus and sort of thinks to him. Let's go back and check that room that we passed. And if he's not in there, then we'll see about turning around and getting reinforcements.
I'll relay that to everybody.
Odds.
So yeah,
Well-
we're gonna Hish is gonna swim backtrack to that room that we passed by.
And Hish, are you backtracking alone, or are you all backtracking together?
We're all going.
Okay.
We're all in this together.
Sounds good. So as you make your way into this room and you start looking around, you see that the walls and floor of this chamber are tiled in a dark green color, and the ceiling is tiled light green. A seaweed bed fills the northeast corner, and in the center of this room stands a small table with a small bench beside it, and in the east wall rests a coffer, lid closed.
No, pop that bad boy open.
And as you are getting into this chamber, popping this lid open, you hear a...
Oh, for frick.
And in the archway of this room, you can see that there are 4 sharks that are currently hovering in the air with one Sahuagin underneath them that seems to be directing them towards the 4 of you. I would like for everybody to roll initiatives.
Just gotta scream.
$12.
21.
Manny.
18.
Okay, sounds good. So... Sounds good. So, Ham, you are going to be going first. You see that there are 4 of these sharks. Or, no, it's Jill. Correct. So, Jill, you are going to be going first. Looking at these sharks, you can see that they are decorated. Normally, whenever you've seen a shark in the wild, they are shark. It's fairly easy to make that assumption. But it seems like the Sahuagin, because of their closeness in hunting patterns as well as proximity to sharks, have started to almost plate them with armor. And you can see that these sharks actually have what look to be large multicolored shells that just seem to hang off of them, almost like some sort of gilded plate.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Can I get all of them in a 20-foot radius?
Oh, for sure. They are all in the entryway of this archway.
Cool. So, I'm gonna cast Ice Storm. Jill is just like, I'm so tired. Okay. So,
what is the save to beat?
Dex of 16.
Okay, so 3 fail, 2 succeed. And it's 2 of the sharks that succeed.
All right, so it's good. First, it's going to be 2d8 bludgeoning damage. Huh. Okay, so 9 bludgeoning damage, and then 4d6 cold damage. Where's my other d6? I just had this sucker. Oh, there you are. Okay. 5, 2, 7, 13, 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
The area is difficult terrain. I don't think that applies on water, but...
They will be... There's like ice chunks that are floating in the salt water now, just making it more difficult to swim through.
Also, has it been a minute since us leaving the chamber?
Yes.
Okay, then my spiritual weapon is gone. So that's me.
Okay, sounds good. So most of these sharks are looking incredibly injured. Ham, it is your turn.
I think Ham is gonna position themselves like roughly in front of Albus, and then just shoot at one of the sharks with some Eldritch Blasts. Uh, 11 and 24.
24 will hit.
5 Damaggio.
Okay, that shark goes belly up. So that is it for that guy. Did you have anything else that you would like to do?
All good.
Okay, sounds good. Hish, it is your go.
Hooray! I would like to hit one of the sharks.
Okay. So you're going to swim up and attack a shark?
Yep, I'm going to swim up and I'm going to stab it with my scimitar. 7 plus 8. 15?
A 15 does not actually hit these sharks. It seems
That's
like
okay.
the shells that they are wearing around themselves have given them.
You still
an
got
additional
Galaxy
buff.
Brain.
Oh, I do have Galaxy Brain. Can I roll that after?
Yeah, I'll say that you can roll it for this.
Okay. Is it a D6?
It's a D8.
Albus? Oh, a D8. Oh, it's a +1. Does a 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
No. Okay. Then I'll try my second attack. We'll try again.
Okay.
Try again. That's a 17 plus 8.
Oh yeah, that
So
for
I say
sure
that
hits.
hits. And I'm going to use a superiority die to make it a, what is that attack called? Sweeping attack. And I'd like to hit another shark with it.
Are you
there's
hitting
another
two incredibly looking injured sharks?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's going to be 11 slashing damage. 3 fire damage. And then 5 additional damage, which the other shark also takes.
Hish, you kill 2 sharks with a single sword sweep.
I know exactly what I want to do for it.
Do it.
I think he makes a little shark kebab with his sword, just going through like one of the narrow parts of the sword and just kind of skewers them both.
Okay. The priestess lets out a shriek as 3 of her favored pets have all been dismissed rather quickly, and is going to begin swimming away. Hish, you can make an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Yay! Yes, I would. That's a natural 20. I can't show you what it is.
That's okay. Roll for damage.
Wow, 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 wow. 12 slashing damage. Do I add my fire damage as well?
Yes, you do.
And then 2 fire damage. That's not also doubled, correct?
Fire damage is doubled.
Oh, sweet. Then 5 more fire damage.
This creature is barely alive, but it is swimming with the speed of the gods today. And you see that it is swimming directly towards the hallway that will lead them to the ungodly number of Sahuagin that you had heard earlier. Then the shark is going to try and... The shark that's left is going to try and bite out towards you, Hish. And it does not with its first bite attempt, and then its second one gets a 19 to hit.
That does indeed hit.
All right, so that is going to be for 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh, Hish goes down.
And because you haven't finished a long rest, you can't use your relentless endurance, correct?
I cannot. No, I certainly cannot.
Okay. So, the priestess is swimming away. So at this point, they have swam down the hallway and are around the corner and will be at the other reinforcements in a series of, in maybe 2-3 more turns. Or they would be there in 2 turns. Albus. Hish is floating belly up in front of you.
How far can I swim?
What is your swim speed?
30.
So you would be able, from where you were inside of the room, you would be able to get halfway down the first corridor, but not around the corner.
So I wouldn't be able to see it.
No.
I mean, okay, I'll swim 30 feet away. Hish, you're gonna get some healing, some quick heals.
Okay.
Second level. Uh, 10 points.
Thank you.
If I dash, can I see her?
If you dash, you can see them, yes.
Okay. That would be my action.
Okay, sounds good. So that is it for Albus's turn. Jill, what would you like to do in this situation? You're muted.
Swim. Yeah, swimming as fast as I can.
Okay, towards the exit? Or towards where Albus is swimming?
Towards where Albus is swimming.
For the unconscious person.
What? Hish got healed.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hish got healed for
I
10.
missed that.
So good on that. So, Jill, you have a swim speed of 30 as well?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you would be able to get down the hallway, but unless you used a dash to get to where Albus is, you are just looking at the end of the hallway.
Okay, yeah, guess I'm gonna have to dash.
Okay, so then you dash around the hallway as well. Next up, Ham.
I dash as a bonus action. And leap down the hallway to fire 2 bolts mid-water air.
Okay. Do it.
$25 and $17.
Both hit. Roll for damage.
Damn. $14.
Ham. You are jumping through the air whilst shooting these 2 bolts. Is there any extra flair that you would like to add on as you land the final strike against this creature as it attempts to run and warn however many others exist in the room beyond?
Because we're in water, Ham manages to shift himself where he coolly catches himself on the opposite wall instead of landing awkwardly anywhere.
Okay. So that Sahuagin stops running, and they manage to let out a death rattle. They just sort of bark, having been blasted by this bolt. But for a moment, there is calm. What would the 4 of you like to do?
Is there not still a shark?
There is
The
still
shark that bit me?
Or yes, there is still a shark. That is correct.
Oh shit, I forgot about the shark.
I did too. So the shark is still just chilling there with you, Hish.
Okay.
And Albus. Or no, Albus swam past it.
Yeah. Everyone swam away from it.
Look, this shark's chill now. He's just chilling.
Is it my turn?
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna kill it.
Okay.
That's a 17 plus 8.
Yeah, that totally hits.
That's 10 slashing damage and 6 fire damage.
You kill it. Yay. Hish has killed all of the sharks in this room.
I killed a shark. Thank you very much.
Singular one. So yes.
I loosened him up for you.
I like to think that Hish went down, started floating up to the ceiling, and then Albus healed him, and then he just propelled himself straight down with his sword onto the shark.
So you guys have killed all the sharks, killed the Sahuagin. What are you doing?
What's in this goddamn box?
Oh, in the box that you guys found in that room,
Mm-hmm.
As you look inside, you see that there are 6 leather harnesses with silver buckles. There is a small gold locket on a fine chain.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a small leather bag containing 25 gold pieces, but there is no sword of Ulman.
No.
Jill will point towards the exit and make little swimming motions.
Ham will start swimming.
Yeah. Hish will. I think Hish gives the stuff to Albus to put in his bag.
Okay.
And then Hish will disappointedly bring up the rear.
Okay, this was. What was this?
25 gold.
6
one
leather
locket.
harnesses.
6 harnesses.
A locket. A gold
Locket.
locket.
And okay. Cool. And then Albus will follow.
Okay. So, as you guys head towards the exit, let's make this a skill challenge as to how you actually escape the current fortress on this ground level. So, using the initiative that we had, Jill, are you familiar with how skill challenges work?
I pick a skill that I am contributing and narrate how I do it, and I
Yes.
roll. What would I like to contribute in this moment? Jill would like to swim up towards the front, or and like keep an eye out and an ear out to see if they hear any more patter, feet, webby noises, or see any flashes of Sahuagin anywhere, and basically just be on the lookout. So in case anyone comes our way, she can just be like, nope, this way.
Okay,
So.
make a perception check.
Ooh, 19.
19. So as you guys are getting near the exit, you can hear these sounds of metal and stone being worked on above the stairwell leading up, as it seems like the slaves have been brought back to this position to continue clearing out. Next up, Ham. What skill would you like to use in order to help out your friends? The only stipulation on abilities that you cannot use are ones that have been used the check previously. So right now, the only one you cannot use is perception.
Yeah, can I get a stealth check to help keep the next room silent as we try to creep through?
Make a stealth check.
Pew, 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 pew.
Nice. All right, so the room has some Sahuagin in it, a lot of these slaves. Ham, how are you able to critical your stealth to either cause a distraction or possibly prevent these Sahuagin from finding out where you currently are?
There's an upper area, right? There was like an upper balcony that they were watching from as well.
There was not a balcony that they were watching from. They were actually resting on the lip of stone that was around the stairwell leading down to the second layer.
Where is there a place that the party could like hide behind if I were to try to pull them into the room and have everyone rush past? Will we like Scooby-Dooed behind the door and then crept back out?
There is not, however, there are enough of them that if you caused a distraction in a corner of the room, you would be able to make a quick break for it.
Cool. I have an alchemist kit, right?
I believe so.
Or what kind of stuff can I find in there? Do I have anything that will pop or smoke or flame that I can toss in a corner?
I would say yes.
Great. I'd love to. Can I just make a Molotov cocktail? Do I have oil?
I
an alchemist
believe
again?
that as a Who man, you have the ability to create these minor things.
Great. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm just going to toss a firebomb in the corner stealthily and then hopefully guide us out while they're all distracted.
Okay,
with the
so
fire.
they are very clearly distracted by the Molotov cocktail, giving you guys enough time to begin your escape. Hish, what skill would you like to contribute to your escape?
So after we sneak out of that room, the coast is pretty clear, right?
You remember encountering quite a few other Sahuagin on your way.
Okay.
But you're unsure if the coast will be entirely clear past this point.
Okay. I think what Hish would like to do is he's gonna lead everybody rushing as fast as they can through until he gets to a room with a door. And he's going to hold the door so they can get away as long as they can and then dash to meet up with them.
Make an athletics check.
That's what I was hoping you would say. 13?
Okay. So you are met with more resistance on this door than you had initially thought. So you don't get as much time as you were thinking that you were going to have holding this up, but you were still able to do what you were hoping to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Albus, what would you like to do?
Can I recall our path here with some history? And
I will say yes. And you would have advantage for it because you had recorded all of the information from what you had seen into your jar of whispers the night prior.
Sweet.
Well, natural 20.
Womp, 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 womp.
Womp, 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 womp.
The advantage die was a 2.
Yes, you have a very clear memory of being on this level. For how blind you were, you kind of had to commit every step to memory. So being able to just sort of rush forward with your lights on is definitely helping you out in this situation. So then we go back to Jill.
Oh, okay.
And you guys are nearing the final stretches of this. You know that you have some rooms with probably Sahuagin Guard coming up.
Could I perhaps use insight to maybe predict how they would move out this room and where they would go first and try and subvert that?
Make an insight check.
Alrighty. That is 19.
Okay, so with your 19, you know, based on the layout from what you remember, and having encountered these Sahuagin moving before, you know that they are very prone to investigating loud noises based off of a almost like initial jump reaction. So if you are able of making a loud noise somewhere where they're not necessarily thinking that you will make it, they will go and investigate that first. As you are running down these hallways, you know that some of these rooms interlink. So you are... you know that if you were to create a thunderclap or some loud sound in one of these adjacent rooms, that you could lure all of those guards out in the most direct pattern towards there, giving you enough time to kind of slink around them.
Thaumaturgy, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
Whoop-oo.
So you maturge those thous in that room right there. Next up, Ham. Ham, you have maybe this, if you are able to succeed in this, you know that you are out of this fortress.
want to use acrobatics. I would like to be rushing ahead and like opening all the doors I can for everyone. And if I run into anyone, I want to leap up and kick them in the faces so that they go prone.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Uh, 16.
Okay. So 16, that's enough for you to be able to succeed on this. So you rush forward. Thankfully, Jill has distracted all of your friends with her violent castings of thaumaturgy down in the halls. And at the last door that you are able to get to, very quickly, you just turn your finger into a key, jostle it really quick in the hopes that it'll work, because every time you have turned your finger into a key as ham, it always works just the way you think that it will. And the door opens for you. And at this point, the four of you rush out of the fortress as a whole. And as you are looking through the rushes, you realize that your boat is actually missing. Thinking back to last night, how they were so on alert for checking out to where you all were, you're assuming they found your boat. Thankfully, the four of you have a swim speed, so you just all dive into the water and begin quickly swimming away as fast as you possibly can. And you are now outside of the fortress of the Sahuagin. No longer, you are no longer within their threat radius, and the four of you can breathe a little bit easier. Ulman, you have been separated from your friends for hours at this point. You have no idea what is going on. You are being carried through the dark by individuals that you are incapable of communicating with, and you have a brief realization of the surrounding area that you find yourself in. You are handed off from one Sahuagin to the next as you are taken deeper within this fortress. You aren't really sure until you are handed off to a Sahuagin that has just the wildest look in their eyes. And as they look down at you, you can see their large gummy mouth twist into a contorted smile as they begin to trace the symbol of Umberley that is along your hilt with one long extended claw. Later, you are presented in front of a four-armed Sahuagin. And this Sahuagin seems to be in quick communication with the priest. And the priest that currently holds you is very excited. He seems to have an idea in his head. Make an Arcana check as you try and grasp what that idea could possibly be.
17?
You feel like it is not going to be good.
Can I try to force my will over him?
Make another Arcana check.
16?
They got a 17. Because they are a priesty boy. And what you are gathering to be, from your experience here, the high priest. You are taken back to this priestly-like chamber, and you are set down onto an altar. And this Sahuagin takes out what looks to be a piece of rock or raw ore that you have never seen on the surface before. And they place it against your blade, and they just begin to rub against it, and they begin to start shaving you down. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to every single one of you great audience members who decided to stop on by and enjoy this fantastic show. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit for yet another week. I've been having a great time with Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Hey, Dingo, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me on Twitter, I guess. At WheresMyDingus, I guess. Yeah, you can find me full of fear. Tuesdays you can find me on Off the Table playing Alas for the Awful Sea. Every other Wednesday you can find me also on Off the Table playing Burning Wheel. The not this Wednesday, or sorry, not this next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that will likely be our finale. After 2 years of playing Burning Wheel, it will be our entire series finale. Thursdays you can find me here, and then Fridays you can find me, not this Friday, but every Friday going forward, on Tales from the Grim playing Monster of the Week Samhain. And then every other Friday in the evenings you can also find me on Off the Table playing Tales from Thersha. That's it. Also, sorry about my camera. I don't know what's going on with it.
That's all right.
It happens.
Reeves, where can we find you? What do you do?
Man. Well, when I'm not being sobbing in my pillow on my couch, you can find me shitposting on Reeves_bot on Twitter, or streaming at Reeves_bot on Twitch. I stream every Sunday, playing some Divinity 2 with my friends for now. And I'm here on Thursdays. That's all.
Hi, I'm Cyber. You can find me on Twitter at Cyberwolf1201, where I shitpost and talk about, other stuff, like whenever I go live on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games so badly and talk about lore. I think we're playing The Wolf Among Us, trying to finish that off. Archives that go to YouTube, youtube.com/Cyberwolf1201, where you can also find the podcast that KyleWithAnN I do called Let's Talk About It. We'll get drunk, do parkour, and talk about stuff going on in the RPG world. You can also find some D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials. You can find me on Patreon and DM's Guild, where you can find the RPG stuff that I'm working on, and for actual plays. I'm here on Mondays, where I play Arjan. I don't even know how my camera's set up, but Arjan. And here Thursdays, where I play Albus. It's a good time. I'm so tired.
Hi, tired. I'm KyleWithAnN, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN, on Twitter and Twitch. Twitch, I play video games. Twitter, shitpost and talk about the things I'm doing. Like, as you've already heard, Tuesdays, I'm also on the last for the Awful Sea, Storms and Stars. I'm here on Thursdays. Coming up this Saturday, extra special treat. I'm going to be in an Urban Shadows one-shot over on twitch.tv/off_the-table. It's going to be a huge event. There's going to be so many games going on that Saturday. It's all to raise money so Katie can go see Summer for her birthday. And donations affect what goes on in the game. So please stop by and check it out. Maybe donate $1 or $2. Other than that, you can catch me on a couple of podcasts. Let's Talk About It has been mentioned. The second one I'm in is Cape Lorelei. It's an Urban Shadows actual play podcast available on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. We just had our 4th episode come out yesterday, I think, and it's fun. Check it out.
Yes. And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do this show Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got our homebrew game, we got Curse of Strahd, we got Ghosts of Saltmarsh, we got all sorts of stuff, and even more stuff coming up, because Ghosts of Saltmarsh is, or not Ghosts, sorry, Curse of Strahd looks like it is nearing the last handful of sessions, which is too spoopy 5 me. I love my dumb mongrel folk boy, and I don't want to give him up yet. But so beeth the module. We also are going to be heading into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, which is of course Patreon supported. So if you would like to help support the show, go to patreon.com/indooradventures and get access to it, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask the cast or myself, feel free to either post them in the chat to the side of this Discord or of this Twitch video, or post them in the comments below on whatever medium that you're watching. Or if you want the most immediate feedback, check out our Discord. It's a fun place full of these fine people. And we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.